I was walking through extreme disappointment because a dream that I thought was going to come to pass at that time, it didn't. Hey everyone, welcome to Worship with Cheena. I'm Cheena, and I want to share with you how my first worship EP album called Undone came to be. So it was back in 2021 that I was walking through extreme disappointment because a dream that I thought was going to come to pass at that time, it didn't. And so I immediately knew I just need to worship God. And so I went to one of my favorite places to spend time with the Lord. It's up on a hill that overlooks a valley, and got on my knees and knelt before him, worshiped him and adored him. And it was in that place that I said, God, my life is yours, and let my life be for your glory. And I surrender this dream to you. And right now, I actually want to encourage, if there has been a place of disappointment in your heart, that to process it with the Lord and to lay it down. We have that choice to either stay in that place of disappointment or to worship him through it and let him deal with our hearts so that we can actually move forward with what he has for us. So it was in that place. I dealt with that disappointment. I surrendered that dream. And then the Father so beautifully and tenderly whispers to me, it's time to release your sound. And I knew in that moment that he was asking me to pick up another dream of mine that I had laid down many years ago, that he was asking me to have courage and to trust him with another dream of mine. And so I immediately gave him my yes, because I had just gotten done saying, God, my life is yours. So I gave him my yes, and I know with the yes comes steps, comes obedience, comes follow through. And so in that place, I was immediately bombarded with disqualifying thoughts. I've never created an album before. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a producer. I don't know how to put instrumentation to songs. I don't know how to do a copyright. And I heard him say to me so kindly, Cheena, what do you have? And immediately I responded, oh, I have you, Father. I have you. And I know that with you, I can do anything. And I knew that he was calling me to a place of trusting him. And Proverbs 3:5 says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart, lean not on your own understanding, but in all of your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. So I knew he would be with me every step of the way. So it was in that place of worship, he showed me the face of a man. It was Jackie Baker. I had actually met Jackie Baker about 6 months prior. I'd attended a conference. He was the worship leader there. Super anointed, so kind, so humble, tender heart, loves Jesus, all about intimacy with the Lord, and honors the presence and the glory of God. And I remember when I met him in my spirit, I just had this sense that I was going to know him and his wife, and that I'd be seeing them again at some point. So I didn't understand why the Lord showed me his face, but later that night, the Lord had me look him up online. He said, check out his website. So I did, and it was then that I realized he's also a music producer. And it was on his website that all the services he provided actually spoke to all the disqualifying thoughts I had. So don't know how to do copyright, he does that. It's part of his service. So it was in that moment I realized, wow, I really don't have any excuse. I'm going to have to take that step of faith and call him. And a lot of times when God's called us to something, there is a step, there's a movement, there's something we have to do in partnering with faith. And then he meets us in that step. You know, with Moses, he stretched forth his hand and put out the rod, and the Red Sea parted. The Israelite priests, you know, they had to step into the Jordan first. They actually had to wait for a little bit. But in that step, the Jordan River parted. And so I knew that I was making a huge step to call Jackie Baker. So I called him. He said yes, he would work with me, and that he'd get back to me and let me know when he could fit me in his schedule. So 1 week later, he calls me back and says, Cheena, if you can get in here within 2 weeks, we can make it happen. Otherwise, we're going to have to push it out at least a couple of months. And I knew that I had a choice. Am I going to wait or move forward with this? And I really felt the wind of the Spirit upon this. I felt the acceleration, the grace, and the favor of God upon this. I did not want to delay what God was doing. And so I gave him my yes to the 2 weeks. And even though so much of me is a planner and I like to have things prepared and laid out, I just trusted God that I would have what I needed in 2 weeks to be ready to record my first worship album. And so anyways, it's been an incredible journey and process with creating with the Lord, and in the entire creation process of the album, my heart was to stay in a yielded posture unto the Lord, and just a surrender of, God, this is yours, and I want it to be unto you and to glorify you. And so not just the lyrics and the instrumentation, but even the graphics. And the picture on the album is actually the place where I gave God my yes. It's on that hill. And so it's real special, the cover, but even my logo, everything has real deep meaning. And I got to create with him, which was just such a joy. And really the journey is priceless. The outcome, yes, I'm happy with, but the journey is truly priceless because I got to create with him. And so these 3 songs on the album are kind of a journey in itself. So the first song is called Beautiful, and it's about the beauty of God. Who he is beautiful, his nature, his character, the names of God. And so as we look unto him, we can't help but want to know him more and go deeper in intimacy with him. And that's the second song, called Deeper. And it's just this sense of just this yearning to experience him and grow in revelation knowledge of who he is and understand our union with him, and to come into deeper place of intimacy with him. And then from there, how can we not become undone in his presence? So Undone is the third song, and it's just being in that place as we see him, as we come to this deeper knowledge of him and intimacy with him and aware of his presence, we can't help but be captivated by him, swept away and undone in his love. So I want to encourage you that whatever dreams you may have, that to partner with the Lord, surrender unto him, and watch him unfold it in such a beautiful way. Trust the timing. Trust that he will bring it all together, because he truly wants to partner with you in every step of the way with the dreams and desires in your heart. So I pray that as you listen to this album and as you worship him, that you would encounter perfect love, that you would come to greater revelation and experiential knowledge of him, and that as you come to this place, that you can't help but be undone in his love.